Good morning, friends. Such a joy to be here with you this morning. So our theme this month is paying attention. So for this first song, I'm going to invite you to really, really pay attention. No distractions.
Good morning. It is wonderful to see all of you this morning. My name is Don Rakow, and I am very pleased to be your celebration associate this morning. May we gather today to nurture our connections, seek inspiration, and embrace change. Paying attention, as was so eloquently just portrayed, is our theme for this month. What are you paying attention to currently? What would you like to be paying more attention to? May we gather today not to beware the Ides of March, but rather to be aware of more during the month of March. We have many activities planned for this week. Please see the announcement in your order of service or check the sanctuary screens to learn more. And now we have a brief announcement by Seema Mathur. Seema.
So I'm not really Seema today. I am the steward of the Unitarian Church here. What do I want to pay attention to? I want to pay attention in March to gratitude. So far, with this campaign, we've achieved 11 new pledgers, which was one of our goals, to really focus on folks that wanted to contribute to the joy we receive here for the first time. So excited to announce the 11 new ones. Yay. And 74 total pledgers, which is also really exciting. Even if you pledged before, we still allow you to pledge again. And we've reached 51% of our goal, That sounds maybe a little bit small, but maybe folks remember we have a pledger who pledges often late and is very generous. So I think the 51% is great. Someone asked me today, they said, oh, I didn't bring in my check. And the check is really important. But right now, the promise is more important. So don't worry if you didn't bring your check. Make your pledge. There are many opportunities. You can mail your pledge. You can go to the table. And I have pledge cards there at coffee hour. Yeah, you can call Michelle and let her know how much you're going to pledge. And mostly, you can, I will reflect on the gratitude associated with stewardship and all of your stewardship for our community. Thanks.
And now, a brief announcement by Megan McCormick.
Hello. Hi, guys. Okay. All right, this is Stony. As your board president, as your resident shrink, as a former member of the Evangelical Southern Baptist Church, it's the time that I apply a little light pressure to get you to volunteer for some things. So, we are doing an auction in the fall, spring, the spring online auction, and we need 10 to 15 folks. No, we need people to go out and talk to 10 to 15 businesses. You should be doing this. Okay, we need 10 to 15 businesses to make pledges, donations to us. What am I paying attention to today? That's a great question. So we need all of you, some of you, to volunteer to go to local businesses and ask for their donation to our spring online auction. Here's the great news. We've now put a white card in the pew in front of you. That's a volunteer card. So first off, can I see a show of hands? Anybody know a business and is willing to go out to a business? I see kids in the back raising their hand. I see Fred. I see Seema. Okay. I see Stony. Stony knows a business too. Actually, you do. We'll give you a list. You don't even have to know a business. We'll give you a list. So if you are willing to help us with that, please pull that white pew card out in the front. Write your name on it. Ren wants to do it too. Write your name on that and just write that you're willing to help with the spring online auction and put that in the plate that's going to go around when we take the offering. Okay? Thanks, guys.
If you are here or visiting for the first time, we invite you to stop by the welcome table in the parlor after the service, located through those doors. This is where we will have coffee, snacks, some of Keith's bread, and conversation after the service. In the spirit of intentionally gathering in community, please take a moment, take out your cell phone, and as the song implored you, please switch it to silent mode. And now, before we light our chalice, let's take a moment to greet those around us. Our chalice will be lit this morning by Marie Benedetti. Please join me in saying the chalice lighting words. We light this chalice for the warmth of love, the light of truth, and the energy of action. Thank you, Marie.
One day, the Zen master Nan-in had a visitor, a scholar of Eastern religions who came to him to learn more about Zen. The visitor just talked on and on, however, about all of his thoughts and ideas and everything that he knew. After a while of this talking, Nan-in began to serve tea. He poured the tea into the visitor's cup until it was full. And then he continued to pour until the tea spilled over the rim, spilled out of the saucer onto the man's leg and the floor. Finally, the man could contain himself no longer, and he said, "Why are you continuing to pour the tea? Can't you see that it's already full?" Nan-in stopped pouring, and he said, "Ah, yes." He said, "Just as this teacup is full," he said, "and it can fit no more tea, how can you expect me to offer you Zen if you don't bring me an empty cup?" Friends, I invite you to join us in our opening hymn. And if I can have a couple of young volunteers for baskets for our Side with Love collection, we've got 4 baskets up here. I'm going to invite you to rise and body your spirit. We're going to sing 1031, Filled with Loving Kindness. You can follow along with the words on the screen or in your teal hymnals. My next story is a tale about Dharma. Has anyone heard this term before? Heard the term of Dharma? Maybe some of you understand what it means better than I do. But this is a term that doesn't have really an exact translation, right, for our understanding. But it kind of means something's essential quality, something's cosmic nature, right? So here is a tale of Dharma. Once there were two monks. There was a teacher and his pupil. And they stopped at the edge of a river, and they sat down and they put their feet in the water because it felt nice and cool. And as they sat there on the bank of the river, a scorpion came by. And it was trundling along the bank of the river, and then they watched it slip down the bank and fall into the water, and it began to drown. The master stuck his hand in, scooped up the scorpion, set it on the bank, and the scorpion stung his hand. He set the scorpion down, and the scorpion began to wibble and wobble its way down the bank some more, and again it fell into the river. So the elder monk again stuck his hand in, he scooped the scorpion up, and it stung his hand again. He set it down on the riverbank. They watched it walk along the bank, and once again that scorpion fell into the river. And what do you think that monk did? He reached his hand in. He scooped the scorpion out, and it stung him a third time. Finally, unable to keep quiet, the student said, "Master, why do you continue to save this beastly creature? Don't you understand that it's just going to sting you again?" And his master laughed. And he said, it is the scorpion's dharma to sting me. But it is my dharma to save.
Now you can? Yep. Okay. Okay, I'm here. I promise I'll stay on script this Sunday. Welcome everyone, and in spirit of reverence, joy, and care, we take time now to bear witness to some of the joys and sorrows of our community, to share those events that call for our prayers and support, our praise and celebration. So today I have a celebration appreciation from Teresa. The man, Matt Hare, I don't know that if he's here or if he's back in the country, but for years he was the one that wore the purple hat. And today we want to thank him for all of his really hard work to keep us financially stable. So here's to you, Matt. Now for those we are holding in our thoughts, in our hearts, and perhaps in our prayers, into this community, into this space of healing and hope, let us call these names out loud or speak them in our hearts right now. Thank you. We extend loving kindness to all in our world, and let us not forget to extend loving kindness to ourselves. Today, tomorrow, and beyond, let our hands be outstretched in kindness, and let us keep showing up to our lives and each other with an open heart, no matter what. Love and courage to us all. Blessed be, and amen.
You might have guessed, I'm going to have another story here. But this one I'm going to need some help with. So in this story, there's a series of events that happen, and I need you to help me by telling me whether you think these things are good luck or bad luck. Okay? All right, you've got it. So once there was a farmer who had worked the crops on his land for many, many years, and one day his horse ran away. Now his neighbors came over to his house, and what do you think they said? It was bad luck, said his neighbors. And the farmer replied, maybe. The next day, his horse returned, and with it, it brought 3 wild horses. Now his neighbors came over again, and what do you think they said this time? They said, "Good luck," they said. And the farmer replied, "Maybe." The following day, the farmer's son decided to try to ride one of those wild horses, and he fell and he broke his leg. Now the neighbors came over again. They come over a lot, right? They're pretty nosy. They came over again, and what did they say this time? They said, "Bad luck," they said. And the farmer said, "Maybe." The following day, soldiers from the army came by. They were conscripting all of the young men for a war. But when they came to the farmer's house and saw that his son's leg was broken, they passed him by. What did the neighbors say this time? They said, "Good luck," they said. And what do you think the farmer said? He said, "Maybe." Friends, I'm going to invite you into an embodied meditation this morning. So this is a meditation where you can move your body, but you don't have to. And you can do it sitting right in your seats, or if you'd like to stand, you can stand where you are. You can even move out into the aisles and find yourself a larger space to move your body. So if you'd like to rise and find another space, I invite you to do so now. Get any space you want in here. Don't feel shy. And again, for those of you remaining sitting, don't worry, you can join in this too. So as you move into a good, comfortable position for you, I'm going to invite you to notice your breath. As you get into a position, take 2 or 3 just deep breaths, deeper than you normally would, and feel the rise and fall right around your middle. It's going to expand. You might even feel it in your back as we bring our attention to our breath, breathing in and breathing out. Now I'm going to invite you, we're going to draw attention to other parts of our bodies, and I'm going to invite you to bring your attention all the way down to your toes. You might notice your feet might feel warm or cold. You might feel kind of sweaty in your socks this morning. Give your toes a little wiggle. See how that feels. Right? You can rock your feet back and forth. And as you breathe in, feel that breath going all the way down to your toes. And then releasing. And you can keep wiggling your toes if that feels good, or you can just notice how your feet feel. Breathe all the way into your feet and all the way out. Now we're going to move that attention up into our lower legs. How do they feel? They feel stiff this morning? Do they feel relaxed? You can give a little stretch if you want to your lower legs. As you breathe in, bring your attention all the way down from your feet, filling up to your shins, into your calves, and then releasing. Breathing in all the way down and releasing. Now we're going to bring our attention up to our knees. And if you're sitting, you can swing your knees if you want to, if that feels good. If you're standing, yeah, you can bend them up and down a little bit. Do they feel a little creaky this morning sometimes, right? A little achy. Just notice, how do your knees feel this morning? And again, we're going to breathe in, and we're going to imagine that breath going all the way, and this time it's filling all the way up to our knees. We can feel that breath in our body, releasing, breathing in from our toes all the way to our knees. And now we're going to bring our attention to our upper legs, to our hips, our thighs. And again, you can kind of wiggle back and forth in your seat. If you're standing, you can like move your whole leg from that thigh joint. We don't often do that, right? What does that feel like? I know this is the place in my body where I'm like, oh yeah, my right hip, right? It's the place that always bothers me. And just notice, how are your hips and thighs feeling this morning? Are they feeling relaxed? Are they feeling heavy? Are they feeling tight? Like I said, give them a little wiggle. And this time as we breathe in, we're going to imagine that breath filling up our entire legs. And then emptying out as we breathe out, and filling up our entire legs, and emptying out as we breathe out. Now we're going to bring our attention to our middle, right? To our belly, our stomach, our back. This is where we often feel our breathing. And just notice, how does your tummy feel today? Does it feel empty? Feeling hungry? Does it feel full? Is your lower back feeling good or a little tense? Let's breathe right into our bellies. Filling up that space below them. Breathing in and breathing out. And if you're in your seats, you can put a little hand on your belly if you want. You can just notice the feel of the rise and fall of your breath as we breathe in and breathe out. We're going to bring our attention up into our shoulders today. How do your shoulders feel? Are they feeling tense? Do you notice that they're up a little bit? You want to invite them to relax. You can do a little roll of your shoulders. This is one of my favorite things. You can roll them back or roll them forward. I like to do what I call the wave, where you do one back and then the other. Do a little shoulder wave. See how your shoulders feel this morning. And we're going to breathe right in, filling up all the way to our shoulders. We can feel that breath in our shoulders. Breathing in and breathing out. You can keep moving them if you want, or you can be still. Breathing in and breathing out. Now we're going to let that attention go all the way down our hands and into our fingertips. If you want, you can wiggle your fingertips a little bit. You could roll your wrists. Notice how that feels. You can move your elbows, right? Your whole arms this morning. Breathing in all the way down to the tips of our fingers. And breathing out, releasing all of that energy. Breathing in all the way to the tips of our fingers. And breathing out. All right, now we're going to breathe all the way in. We're going to bring attention to our heads and our faces. What expression is on your face right now, friends? How does your head feel? What does it feel when you make different expressions with your face? If you smile, or if you frown, yeah, scrunch your nose up. How does that feel in your face today? How does your head and face feel? Do they feel relaxed? Do they need a little bit of movement? Yeah, you can roll your neck if you want. That often feels good. Just notice, how does your head and face feel? We're going to breathe in together, filling our whole head up with that breath, and breathing out. And one more time, breathing in and breathing out. The final thing we're going to do is we're just going to I'm going to invite you to bring your attention to your whole body, or if you noticed a place when we were going through this that needs a little extra attention, right? Maybe it's your hip. A place that needs your extra attention. Just bring your attention to that area as we take 3 breaths in and out together this morning. Breathing in and breathing out. And if you need to move a part of your body, go ahead and move it. Breathing in and breathing out. One more time. Breathing in and breathing out. If you would like to return to your seats as we shift into our meditation song, you may do so, or you can stay right where you are, whatever feels good for you and your body this morning. I have a story for you this morning. Can we all hear me? Yeah. Yes? Test, 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 test. Yeah, I feel like this hasn't been, whoa, there we go. Okay, I'm like, I haven't heard myself yet. Okay, so here is a story.
2 traveling monks reached a town where there was a young woman waiting to step out of her sedan chair. The rains had made deep puddles, and she couldn't step across without spoiling her silken robes. She stood there looking very cross and impatient. She was scolding her attendants. They had nowhere to place the packages they held for her, so they couldn't help her get across the puddle. The younger monk noticed the woman, said nothing, and walked by. The older monk quickly picked her up and put her on his back, transported her across the water, and put her down on the other side. She didn't thank the older monk. She just shoved him out of the way and departed. As they continued on their way, the young monk was brooding and preoccupied. After several hours, unable to hold his silence, he spoke out. "That woman back there was very selfish and rude, but you picked her up on your back and carried her. Then she didn't even thank you." "I set the woman down hours ago," the older monk replied. "Why are you still carrying her?"
Each week, we take an offering to sustain the important ministries and programs of this congregation and its presence in Ithaca. Giving to the plate is important. It's a symbol of our gratitude for this service and our ongoing commitment to support the work of this church. For those watching remotely, follow the instructions on the screen. For those attending in person, our ushers will now pass the plate.
We're going to teach you a song, friends, and it has some motions. And I'm going to sing, and I'm going to ask you to sing back to me. And this is how it goes. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing. Yeah, we did that 2 times. Do it with me. We're going to do it again. Ready? Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Next part goes like this. I am blooming as a flower. All right, your turn. We're going to bloom. Ready? I am blooming as a flower. Then it goes like this. I am fresh as the dew. That's great. Your turn. I am fresh as the dew. I am solid as a mountain. I am solid. I am solid as a mountain. I am firm as the earth. Let's be firm. I am firm as the earth. Then we do this last part 3 times. I am free. I am free. I am free. How lucky am I to get to serve a congregation that sings in harmony and sings so beautifully. Let's do the whole thing together. Here we go. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. I am blooming as a flower. I am
Please join me in saying the offertory words. May these gifts bring about connection, inspiration, and engagement within these walls and beyond.
What is Zen? We've heard several stories this morning that are Zen wisdom tales, and they have some similarities, but they each teach different lessons. Emptiness, acceptance, dharma, or one's nature, letting go. In Western culture, Zen often gets reduced to offhand remarks about a person's seemingly exceptional ability to stay focused and calm in the midst of chaos. That person is so Zen, right? Now, this is possibly due to the fact that sitting in meditation, or zazen, is a central part of Zen Buddhist practices. But what is Zen really? I have to admit, I read a lot of these short stories, also called koans, and some of them I didn't understand at all. One of them went like this. Joshua went to a place where a monk had retired to meditate and asked him, "What is what?" The monk raised his fist. Joshua replied, "Ships cannot remain where the water is too shallow," and he left. A few days later, Joshua went again to the monk to visit him, and he asked him the same question, "What is what?" The monk answered the same way. Joshua said, "Well given, well taken, well killed, well saved," and he bowed to the monk. I, it seems, do not understand Zen, which is unsurprising since this is not a practice that I've really engaged in. I've taken a few classes in meditation that included some Zen practices like silent illumination, and I've engaged in a pretty erratic personal meditation practice, but I haven't studied Zen philosophy or their practices. Zen Buddhism came from the influence of Chinese Taoist thought on Indian Mahayana Buddhism. The Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy tells us that Zen, like other forms of Buddhism, aims at the perfection or realization of personhood. To this end, sitting in meditation called zazen is a foundational method of praxis across the various schools of Buddha way, which is not an ideology, but a way of living. Zen is a way of living, a way of understanding the world, of paying attention. The stories that have been shared this morning illustrate some of the ways that Zen Buddhism invites us to contemplate the world and our role in it. This next story highlights the importance of attention in Zen practice. It goes like this. After 10 years of apprenticeship, Tenno achieved the rank of Zen teacher. One rainy day, he went to visit the famous Zen master Nan In. When he walked in, the master greeted him with a question. "Did you leave your wooden clogs and umbrella on the porch?" "Yes," Tenno replied. "Tell me," the master continued, "did you place your umbrella to the left or to the right of your shoes?" Tenno did not know the answer, and he realized that he had not yet attained full awareness. So he became Nan In's apprentice, and he studied under him for another 10 years. Our lives are filled with messages that we need to hurry, to rush, to do things quickly and efficiently, to multitask. What Zen offers us is an invitation to slow down, to consider ourselves, our nature, and the world around us, to notice even on which side of our shoes we set our umbrella. In the spirit of slowing down and paying attention, I'm going to invite anyone who wants to participate into a slow race this morning. So if I have any young people or people who are young at heart that want to come forward, we're going to do a race. Friends, did you hear me? We're going to do a slow race. All right. I'm going to have y'all start over here on the floor. You can start over here on the floor, yep. You don't have to, there's a lot of you. You can spread out. It's confusing. All right. So go on over here, we'll pull my T back. Yeah, my T's a little in the way now, so y'all can spread out. So make as much as you can a line. And we're gonna have, I'll stand over here too. This is the end, so you gotta go over that way. So here is the way that this is gonna work. The last person to make it to the end is the winner. You have to move as slow, I love it, they're like, let us get into the better position then at the end of the pack. You have to move as slowly as you can, but you can't stop moving, right? You can never stop moving, and you can't move backwards. You always have to be moving your body towards this ending point, right, which is the goal. Friends in the audience, if you would like to participate in this sort of exercise in your seat, what I would invite you to do is place your hands flat on your laps, and as we begin the race, I'm going to invite you to move your arms up until they're all the way above your head as slowly as you possibly can without stopping. If this starts to feel bad in your body, I'm just imagining this would really hurt my shoulders. You don't have to participate, but if you would like to just see what this feels like in your body to go as slowly as you can engage in this activity in this way. All right, friends. Laura, do we have another? I'm going to move this up here too so we have a little long. There's so many of you. A little longer of a goal. All right. So this here is our goal, and again, as slowly as you can. You can't stop moving, and you can't go backwards. Are you ready? All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, begin. And that's for those of you too in your seats, if you would like to begin with your slow ascent. All right, so the race is starting out. We've got someone pulling into the lead slowly here, crawling. Friends, you've got to actually move your bodies. I know, I see some people that aren't quite moving. You got to really move your bodies as slowly as you can, but you got to be reaching towards that goal. Reaching towards that goal. That's right. All right, we got some people pulling ahead and some people pulling ahead in the other sense because they are in the back, right? It's like, who is the leader here? Who is the leader? It is hard to tell. It is hard to tell, right? We're going to get all the way over here as slowly as we can. And as you're doing this, friends, part of this is paying attention, right? You have to really pay attention to your body, to your feet, right? As your feet are moving forward, you have to really pay attention to every single movement that you're making. You have to pay attention to your arms as they are moving forward. You have to pay attention to your body. All right, we've got some people, the pack is spreading out now, right? We were clumped and suddenly we're getting this spread, widening here of the pack as they move forward. What do you think, Laura?
I think I see a lot of people inching their feet forward.
Yeah, inching their feet forward. This kind of motion seems to be the choice here today. This inching motion. If I was doing this, I feel like it would be a slow, kind of leaning motion personally, but it's interesting to watch the different tactics, right, that our participants are taking here this morning, right? We do have some people that are doing more of the like slow lean motion as opposed to the inching motion, and it looks like we've already got some people out over here. We're going to start thinning the pack down, friends, and I see some of you out there also are engaging in this with your bodies to see how slowly you can raise your hands up above your head. I think our pack is going to get thinner here in a moment as we have people moving slowly forward. Those at the back, remember, you still have to keep moving. You got to move. You can't just stand there. I know. You got to actually move your bodies, friends, right? Pay attention and notice your bodies and how they are moving.
It's a very competitive group.
I know, it is a competitive group. It's a competitive group here today. They really want to.
What small movement can I take that will still qualify?
Right. Remember, you can't move backwards, and your movement can't be in place. It has to always be moving towards your goal. Moving towards your goal, friends. I'm impressed with some of you that still have your arms up out there with how slowly you are moving. Also. All right. We're gonna thin. I think we're gonna thin the pack down a little bit more here. And remember, you can touch any of these things. Right. In fact, I think this might actually be closer. So, Jess, you want to move that forward so we have a little more of an even.
I'm going to referee
like
back
this
of this
way.
line here.
Like this. So our friends on the floor. I think people have also figured out. They figured out that they want
moving our bodies forward.
Yeah.
And marking time like this.
I think our friends have figured out that this is the shorter path. Right. No one wants to take the outside of the track here. They're all hugging the corners. That's a sports thing, right? Great. Great. You got this. You got to keep moving, friends. Keep moving. I have a pair here that are perfectly in tandem. Perfectly in tandem. Part of what we are working on, friends, here, in addition to attention, is patience. Nicely done, friends. That beautiful slow motion. We have a referee over here to make sure people are actually moving. We've got a referee. I think at this point, once this pack is through, I might move the goalposts way up here.
I think I may as well. I think that's a good idea.
Or we're never gonna leave the service
We have
today.
to be moving.
They're really in it to win
Moving
it.
in a forward direction.
In it to win it.
Not just a moving my body. Moving.
I know. Forward motion was the rule.
So competitive.
Forward motion. Nicely done, friends. Nicely done. All right, here we go. All right. I know. It's never gonna end. There we go. It's a bit like here. We'll still give him a good chance. Come on, forward. I know. You've got this. Silas, I really like your little tiny steps. You gotta go forward with them though. Forward. A little forward. Allie. You gotta actually move forward. I know, now they're just talking to each other. Right.
You gotta move those feet forward.
Having
Feet
arguments
need to
about
move
who's moving forward and who's not.
Baby steps. I see that you did.
I know,
just
you
you're
gotta
not
be
hugging my
moving
guitar case
and
anymore.
reaching.
Moving in this direction.
Yeah, Thora just said this is actually taking a lot of effort, right? It's taking a lot of effort to move this slowly. She said she could feel it in her toes, that it was making her toes hurt to move forward that slowly, or paying attention to our bodies. All right, I think that the next person to come forward, that might be the end of our slow race this morning, or no one's getting coffee. You've got this, friends. I mean, Laura and I maybe will have to have a discussion about who qualifies and who doesn't based on who's actually moving their bodies. Right, I think some people might meet out here. We might have some disqualifications. You've got this, friends. I know, keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. How are y'all doing out there? I'm very impressed with some of you that still have your arms only here.
The threat of disqualification
I know.
has caused us to begin moving.
You disqualifying people over there?
I am
We got the
not.
ref. We got the ref on that side of the track. Just calling people out, using a red flag. I don't really do sports. I'm sorry. I don't know anything that I'm talking about as far as those analogies go. Is that right? Red flag, refs? Is that a thing? Yeah. We want it even closer? They're asking me to move it closer. They're like, can you move it even closer? No, they're like, can you move it closer? I can. Happy to oblige. You two friends, you need to actually move towards the line, not away from it. That was part of it. You can't zigzag. You have to go straight line. They're like, how can we bend the rules here to benefit ourselves? Forward, but it's not moving towards the goal. You gotta move toward, I said very specifically, you have to move towards the goal. I know. Did you hear Gwen say, guys, I want snacks? They're like, hurry on up. All right, reach your hands out, friends. You gotta be moving towards the goal. Reach your hands out. Thank you. Thank you. That's right, reach your hands out as you move towards the goal. We're almost there. All right. Next person that touches the goal, and we're out. There is no movement back there in the back of the crowd, friends. No, there is just standing. I have to say, though, this is not ideal because they couldn't make an actual line cut. You're so close. Silas, you could reach out and touch that goal. There you go. There you go. There you go. Almost there. Almost there. I felt like I was clear about the rules, yeah. Come on, friends, reach towards the goal. You've got it. You've got it. Those of you that finished, how was this for you? Those of you that followed the directions and finished the race, how was it?
Moving forward.
Mindful.
Feet moving forward.
Yeah, Madonna said mindful. She had to think about every movement.
One foot in front of the
All right, Silas, you can do it, Almost to the goal, look at those fingertips. They're so close, pulling his hand back as he's moving forward, like, no thank you. All right, I think we're calling it, friends. I think we're calling it. Do any of you friends up here want to quickly reflect on what that was like for you?
Weird. That was very
Slow.
weird.
Weird. What was weird about it?
It was
It was different.
It was slow, and we were on wall that started on the back, and technically we were working as a team, so. And it was like which technically you didn't say was cheating.
I didn't. All right, friends.
So.
I'm going to invite you back to your seats. Competing with Thora. All right. Where are we? What's next? I have one up there. Oh, great. All right, friends. I invite you to just take a moment to reflect whether you were sitting in your seats, moving your arms, whether you were just watching or whether you were participating. Just take a moment to reflect what that experience was like for you. I mean, funny, right? It was a little funny. But also just thinking about how it is that we pay attention to our bodies and we pay attention to one another, especially when we're doing something different than we normally do. Thanks. I'm going to invite you now to rise and body your spirit for our closing hymn, which is Be Still and Breathe. We just went from intentional movement, and now we're going to invite you into some intentional stillness. So I invite you to rise and body your spirit.
Be still and breathe. Be still and breathe. Listen to heartache. Listen to grief. Be still and breathe. Be still and breathe. Listen to gladness, listen to joy. Be still and breathe. Be still and breathe. Listen to anger, listen to hurt. Be still and breathe. Be still and breathe. Listen to beauty, listen to grace. Be still and breathe. Be still and breathe. Listen to you, listen to me. Be still and breathe. Be still and breathe. Be still and breathe. Be still and breathe.
Thank you. One more tale. One more tale for you this morning. Word had spread across the countryside of a wise, holy man living up on the mountain in a small house. One day, a man from a nearby village decided he was going to make the long and arduous journey up that mountain to see this wise and holy man. When he finally arrived at the top of the house, he could see an old servant inside. The servant came to the door, and the man said, "I am here to see the wise and holy man." The servant nodded and invited him into the house. As they passed into the house and through the different rooms, the man looked around eagerly, anticipating his encounter with this wise and holy man that he had come to see. He soon found himself invited out the back door and outside of the house. He turned to the old servant and he said, "But I'm here to see the wise and holy man." And the servant turned to him and he said, "You already have. If you can see every person that you meet, no matter how insignificant they may appear, if you can see them as holy and wise, whatever problem it is that brought you here will be solved." May we all see all people, no matter how insignificant they appear, as holy and worthy people.
May the light in me honor the light in you, and may all bear this light make all things whole again. May the love I feel be the love you feel, and may all this love be felt by all. May the light in me honor the light in you, and may all this light make all things whole again. May the love I feel be the love you feel, and may all this love be felt by all. May the light in me honor the light in you, and may all this light make all things whole again. May the love I feel be the love you feel, and may all this love be felt by all. May the love we feel be felt by all. May the love you feel be felt by all. May the love I feel be felt by all.
We extinguish this flame, but not the warmth of community or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And that is not Our service has now ended. Let our true service now begin.